the new steed, Trek/8. I'll just take you through some of the upgrades that I've done on this beast prior to sending. So let's start at the rear. Changed out the tyres that came on it for Bondrager, which is Trek's home brand. Put on the Michelin Wild Enduro on the rear with a rim protector inside. I always put them on in the rear. Front, I've got the Wild Enduro front tyre. This one's a competition line. Just put that on because it's a bit thicker casing. Hopefully won't get any punctures or anything like that on the front. Next up, changed the brakes. Got Magura MT7s on. The bike originally come with SRAM code, but I'm not really a fan of SRAM brakes, so yeah, I just instantly changed them out. I've got Maguras on my other bike as well, so I just wanted to keep it consistent. Changed the chain, just a cosmetic change there, just changed it for a black X01 chain. The chain that comes on it would have been fine, it's a GX chain, but yeah, just thought the black one looked good. Pedals, just your classic nuke proof Sam Hill pedals. So yeah, they're pretty good. I've got them on my other bike as well, so again, keep them consistent. Not done any changes to the suspension. Maybe look at doing something to the fork in the future, but right now pretty happy with that. Put the mud hugger on the front. Obviously, yeah, you gotta have one. But to be honest, I'm not the biggest fan of mud hugger these days, as the zip ties can damage the forks a little bit, so I've put some tape underneath that. Bars, changed the bars and stem to Renthal Fat Bar Gold bars. That's just really a cosmetic change for me. I just prefer them. I do, however, need to get a adapter for the knock block, which is ordered, but that's not come yet. So one of the other things that I've done is I've got a Bash Guard, an MRP Bash Guard on the bottom here, just to protect the frame a little bit. Had one of my friends in Visa frame it for me as well. Got the Garmin mount here, just little things like that. Obviously DMR death grips. I'm not sure about these ones actually, that they go with the bike that well, but I did like how the MT7 went with it. Now they're on their bike, I'm not too sure, maybe change them in the future. Yeah, so that's the bike. Okay, now some riding footage from my first few rides, and I will talk you through my first thoughts on the Trek/8. Okay, so I'll start with some of the things that I like about the Trek/8. So first of all, price and spec. For me, it's a really good price point, 3,600. Good spec for the price. So you've got the Lyrik Select Plus on the front, and yeah, that just soaks up so many bumps. It's just a joy to ride that. The rear suspension is really good as well. Rockshox Deluxe on the rear. I like the fact that it has a SRAM drivetrain. I've got SRAM on my other bikes, so I just like to stick with that. So that was another reason why I liked it. I really like that they have a little hidey hole in the frame of the bike. It's just pretty handy for putting stuff in. Although one of the bad things about that is it does seem to leak water. There's no real seal on that, which is a little bit disappointing, but I wouldn't imagine it does the bike any harm, so it's not too much of an issue. Some of the other things I'm not too keen on for the bike is first of all the knock block. So the knock block you can't use third-party parts with, so the stem is specific to Trek. There is ways around it. You can either take the knock block out completely, or you can buy an adapter. So that's why I've done in my case. It's not too much of an issue, but it is just a bit of a silly little thing. With this frame as well, the fork doesn't even hit the frame, so I kind of don't really see the point in the knock block myself in this one. Some of their other bikes, it does actually stop the frame from getting damaged. One other little niggle is the dropper post that comes with it. It's a brand X, I believe, which is kind of just a cheap dropper post. It's only 150mm travel, which is a little bit less than you would like, and also the lever for it is just a little bit flimsy. I've had one in the past and broke the lever quite quickly. Again, it's not a huge issue, but it's just a little niggle. For me, probably the biggest downfall so far for the Trek Slash is its climbing abilities. I did read about the bike prior to buying, and despite its heavy weight, it is quite a heavy bike. I read that it was still relatively good for climbing, although I do have quite heavy and chunky tyres on it, so that could really be the reason. I'll probably change out the front tyre in the summer and see if that makes any difference. So as you can probably see from the videos, I'm really enjoying the bike so far. Despite its downfalls on climbing for me, particularly so far, I am loving the bike for downhill. So if you're wanting a good spec aluminium bike, not quite into that carbon price range, then I think the Trek Slash 8 is a really good buy.
Woo-hoo-hoo! Yeah!